The woman could hardly believe her eyes. What kind of terrifying creature would require hundreds of massive iron chains to keep it restrained? To imprison it, someone had even built a horrifying underground prison. Every path leading to the cage was guarded by swarms of flesh-devouring insects. This place had remained silent for hundreds of years, until one day a special operations team arrived. They were tracking kidnappers in order to rescue a hostage. Following the kidnappers' trail, they reached the entrance of a cave. To their surprise, the hostage was taken inside what looked like an ordinary cave. The team immediately raised their guard and followed carefully behind. But suddenly, one of the teammates stopped and gasped in shock. Looking down, she saw a horribly mutilated skeleton. Even more disturbing, it turned out to be the very hostage they had come to rescue. Before anyone could even figure out how the man had died so quickly, gunshots and desperate screams echoed from deeper inside the cave. Everyone instantly broke out in a cold sweat. The atmosphere grew darker and more unsettling, but determined to find out what was happening, they forced themselves to keep moving forward. Not long after, they noticed something strange on the cave walls. A mysterious sticky substance covered the surface. Everything about the place gave them a terrible feeling. Just then, an insect-like creature dropped onto one teammate's shoulder. Another teammate quickly tried to pull it off, but the moment he got a clear look at it, a chill ran straight down his spine. Panicking, he flung the creature away. Unfortunately, it immediately targeted someone else. Luckily, the team leader reacted quickly, but that single stomp seemed to summon death itself. Sensing the death of one of their own, a massive wave of creatures began swarming toward them. The horrifying sight made everyone's hair stand on end. There were simply too many of them. With only a handful of soldiers and limited ammunition, there was no way they could wipe them out. Within moments, one of the team members was completely covered by the creatures. The captain rushed forward to save him, but the monsters had already devoured most of his body. The situation quickly spiraled out of control. They had no choice but to retreat immediately, but the creatures had no intention of letting them escape. Soon, a second team member was swallowed by the swarm. Seeing his teammate suffering so horribly, the captain could only end his life herself. Then she ordered everyone to run deeper into the cave. Just as the remaining three managed to break through, they suddenly realized someone had fallen behind. Before they could go back to help, the missing teammate staggered out, covered in wounds. Moments later, he collapsed and fell into a bottomless abyss. Strangely, the monsters did not follow them further. They guessed the creatures might only be guarding the tunnel.
Guard what?
As if answering the question, a deep, echoing growl came from farther inside. Then they witnessed an unbelievable sight. Beyond the cave, there was an enormous alien underground temple. Dozens of gigantic chains covered with ancient runes stretched across the entire cavern. Through her rifle scope, Amanda noticed something. Across the chamber, a staircase seemed to lead to a tunnel that might connect to the outside world. With monsters blocking the path behind them, their only option was to keep moving forward and search for a way out. But what they didn't realize was that something far more terrifying was waiting ahead. As they began climbing the stairs, a sudden wave of noise erupted behind them. When they turned around, countless new creatures were emerging from the darkness.